Hello guys, this is Thomas Hansinger from the Smart Client team, and today I would like to show you how you could integrate Google Street View as a second screen within GeoMedia Smart Client. Let's have a look on how this works. Here we have the Smart Client with our Las Vegas demo dataset, and if we double click in here, we open up a second screen with the Google Street View in there, and we get the marker on the Smart Client map to see where we are located at the moment. When we move around in the map, the arrow shows where we are looking at the moment, so we can pan around, change the point of interest in there. We can move around in Google Street View. The map gets updated, remains responsive in there, or we can go in here, double click in the Smart Client, and the Google Street View becomes updated. So once the Google Street View is up on the second screen, Smart Client and Google Street View are synchronized, and you can interact between the two of them. How does this look like in code? So what is needed to get it done? The first thing is to bring the second screen up. We just need a simple website to do that. The website could look like this. Sorry, the wrong one. Could look like this in here. So we have a very simple website, just a Google Street View one, including the Google Maps API, and we have a custom script, and then we make the whole Google Street View div as a full screen one, and we just need an initialize function. Whenever we open Google Street View, we pass query string parameters with flat and long in there to get the current position and set the center of the Google Street View map using the current position. And to ping back from Google Street View to the Smart Client, all we need to do is to add two listeners, the one on the position changed and the other one on the path changed in here, the point of interest changed, so that Smart Client gets informed whenever you move around in the Google Street View map. And later on I will show you what needs to be done in Smart Client in order to react on those events. So in Smart Client we have a scripting object that lets you update the position in the Smart Client. To get the website to be displayed in here, you need to define an action in the Smart Client. The action could look like this. The base action is a browse action. The command name in here is Google Street View. This is very important. We're using naming conventions to get it done. So in this plugin I called it Google Street View, and in our plugin we're just checking for the Google Street View action. If it is present, we just bring it up. So you can see here, sorry, it's the wrong configuration for this one. You can see here you can define your browser location. In the demo sample that we have just seen, it was just a frame. In this case it was configured to be a grid, so wherever you would like to place it, you can define it in the browser location. It's an average action in Smart Client. We define a target so that we just get one instance at a time, and we define the URL to call our HTML page, web page that we just created in here. In this case it's just placed in the local host with Google Street View samples, so it can be placed wherever you want to place it on the server side. Then the next thing that we have to look at is the actual extension on the client side. On the client side we need three different parts to get it done. One part is the Google Street View layered map component, the next one is the plugin, and the third part is the scripting object. In the Google Street View layered map component, this is actually the heart of the whole extension. We just place an overlay over the existing map. So we extend the J panel to get the overlay, and we implement the G layered map component so that we can place the component on the map. Furthermore, we would like to listen on mouse events and on map events. So whenever we double click, we can listen on the double click event, and whenever we pan around in the Smart Client map, we would like to update the position in Google Street View in case that it is open. The icon itself consists of two SVGs, the simple marker icon placed in here as an embedded resource, and the red arrow up icon, this one that has been placed there. So the icon itself that we are looking at consists of the two SVGs. Sorry, the wrong element that I brought up consists of the two SVGs. The blue one, the basic one to get the position, the red one to show the current alignment of the point of interest in Google Street View. Then from the GMap layout component, we need to paint the component. So we just draw two images for each icon, and we calculate the actual position at the moment. So we need to do some calculation to get the correct position on the map. And for the red arrow, we also need to calculate the angle so that we can place it correctly on the map, reflecting the current viewing angle in Google Street View. From the mouse clicked events, we are interested in the double clicked. So whenever double or more clicks, to say it that way, whenever more than one click occurs, we bring up the Google Street View using the current position of the mouse cursor, showing the Google Street View with that position. So this is all that we need to do in here. In the mouse clicked event, we first check if we are currently in idle. This means that we are not in redlining mode or editing mode, for example. So just to make sure that we only bring up Google Street View if we are not editing something. And if so, we make our current point on the Google Street View visible, and then we just calculate the real world points in there and open our Google Street View action using the current position, and to the standard URL that has been defined in the administrator, we add the lat and long parameters to the URL as query string parameters. And then we update finally our position to get the marker placed correctly in the Smart Client map. And finally, we would like to be informed about the bounds changed in the Smart Client. So whenever you pan around on the Smart Client map, we would also like to update the position in the Google Street View in case that it is open. So we just attach to the bounds changed event of the map and calculate the position and update the Google Street View in there. Down here in the map layout component, we just offer the update position. Update position will be needed to ping back from the Google Street View using the scripting object later on. So all that we do in here in the update position is that we update the current position using the current G coordinate that has been passed from a Google Street View, and then we just repaint our layout component. And as we are in a different coordinate system, we need to transform the coordinates back to our project coordinate system. The next thing that we need to do is to implement our plugin. So the plugin itself is a very simple one, could be designed differently. In this case, I kept it very simple. The Google Street View plugin is just there to instantiate the map layout component, to add it to the map, and to add the map listener and the mouse listener to the map. So just the controller to get things set up correctly. And the last part that we need is the scripting object, so that we can communicate from the Google Street View browser instance back to the Smart Client. So what we do in here is, in the set web browser, we add a web browser listener so that we can listen on the browser closed. Whenever we close the browser, the Google Street View instance, we would like to hide the current Street View marker. So this is all we do. Whenever the browser closed event is triggered, we hide the Google Street View map layout component. And then we just implement the update position. Update position just gets let and long in here. We get the heading, and we need to know whether we need to update the coordinates or not. This means whether it is a position changed or a point of interest changed. If it is a position changed, we need to update the coordinates. Looks like this. In our case, we transform the coordinates back to our project coordinate system, and we update the position using the GoogleStreetView map layout component, which is implemented as a singleton, so we get the current instance of that singleton pattern and update the position using the current map center. And we just calculate the angle that we need to set for the current position. So that's basically everything that needs to be done. Once we have this set up and in place correctly in our JavaScript component in here, we can now use the scripting object that update position to update our current position. And the final result that puts everything together is once again this one. So we are in here, we double click it, and we get our updated position in here. We move around here, and now we call the update position, double click, now with the position changed in place, and if we move around we get it without the position changed. The whole thing has been implemented as a map layout component instead of getting an actual feature. For one reason, there's no need to touch the current element. The next reason is that Google triggers a lot of events in there, so we need to make sure that only the map layout component is repainted and not the whole map will be repainted, so it's a lot more efficient and faster in this case. I hope that you like the new plugin. For more implementation details, please read the blog entry, and you can download the sources from the blog entry and have fun using it. Just make sure that you have the appropriate Google Maps key to use it together with the Smart Client component. Thanks a lot and have fun.